Before we begin, welcome back to House of Cleopatra. If legendary queens, ancient mysteries, and the myths that shape civilizations move your heart, subscribe now. A new story rises every week, and tonight, we explore how Cleopatra became immortal. When Cleopatra died, the world did not simply lose a queen. It gained a legend, a symbol, a myth powerful enough to outlive empires. She left behind no kingdom, no dynasty, no living throne, and yet she became one of the most enduring figures in human history. More famous than pharaohs who ruled 1,000 years. More iconic than the generals who conquered continents. Cleopatra, in death, became something greater than a ruler. She became an idea. The transformation began the moment her body was discovered inside her mausoleum, a queen lying in gold, refusing to bow even in her final breath. Roman soldiers stared in silence. Octavian felt both victory and fear, and the people of Alexandria wept, not just for a queen, but for the disappearance of an age. Rome tried to reshape her immediately. To them, Cleopatra became the dangerous Eastern queen, the seductress with poisoned charms, the woman who lured great Roman men into ruin. Roman poets painted her as a witch, a temptress, a mistress of dark magic. They claimed she controlled Antony through spells. They said she worshipped strange gods. They said she represented everything Rome feared, a woman they could not control. But hidden beneath the propaganda was a deeper truth. Rome feared Cleopatra because she was powerful, intelligent, charismatic, politically brilliant. So instead of defeating her legacy, they tried to twist it. And in doing so, they kept her alive. Meanwhile, in Egypt and across North Africa, a different story emerged. Cleopatra was remembered as the last true child of the Nile, the final embodiment of Egypt's ancient glory. She was linked to Isis, the great mother goddess, the protector of kings, the healer of souls. For thousands of Egyptians, Cleopatra did not die. She transformed. She stepped into the realm of divinity. Stories spread of her wisdom, her languages, her rituals. Some said she could read the stars. Others said she could command dreams. And some whispered that she was not merely a queen, she was a living goddess in mortal form. But Cleopatra's legend did not remain in Egypt. In the Middle East, scholars preserved tales of Cleopatra the scientist, Cleopatra the alchemist, a woman who studied medicine, astronomy, and the hidden arts. Medieval Arabic writings described her as a healer who created cures, a philosopher who built talismans, a queen who understood the secret forces of nature. The Cleopatra of the Arabs was not the temptress Rome feared. She was a scholar, a queen of wisdom. In African oral tradition, Cleopatra survived in the form of her daughter, Cleopatra Selene, the queen who rebuilt her legacy in Mauritania. Her blood, her memory, and her culture lived through African kings and queens for generations. Through Selene, Cleopatra's shadow stretched across deserts, mountains, and kingdoms beyond the reach of Rome. Then came the Renaissance, where Europe rediscovered her again, but this time as a tragic heroine, star of Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra. Here she became a woman of fire and passion, a queen who loved fiercely and died beautifully. Painters, poets, musicians all resurrected her. Her death became inspiration, her courage a symbol, her romance a legend that stirred the souls of millions. In the modern world, Cleopatra rises again and again through paintings, novels, films, and even fashion. Elizabeth Taylor transformed her into a global icon. Museums dedicate entire halls to her. Scholars write endlessly about her intelligence. Feminists embrace her ambition. Artists embrace her beauty. And the world remains obsessed with the woman who controlled her fate until the very end. But the greatest myth of Cleopatra is not her beauty, nor her death, nor her lovers. It is her resilience. Cleopatra became the archetype of the woman who refuses to disappear. She became the symbol of the beautiful intellect, the woman whose mind is as powerful as her charm. The dangerous queen, the ruler who terrifies empires. The tragic goddess, the woman whose death becomes legend. The reborn woman, the spirit who rises in every generation. In psychology, Cleopatra became the embodiment of feminine power, intelligent, emotional, strategic, intuitive. She became the ultimate example of a woman navigating a world built by men and leaving her mark long after they vanished. And that is why Cleopatra never truly died. Rome collapsed. Octavian faded into dust. Empires crumbled. Centuries passed. But Cleopatra remained in stories, in symbols, in art, in memory. Her death was the end of Egypt's last dynasty. But her legend was the birth of something far greater, the immortal myth of a queen who turned her final breath into eternity. Here, in House of Cleopatra, she rises once again. If this episode awakened something inside you, subscribe now. Next week, another legend is waiting, deeper, darker, and even more powerful.